Hi, and welcome to our video on Lady Whistledown. We know our channel is devoted to all things Jane Austen and Regency, but as a lot of Jane Austen fans have been enjoying this TV show, and although it is very different to Jane Austen adaptations, I was able to enjoy it for what it was. So, spoilers, if you haven't finished watching the series yet and aren't sure who Lady Whistledown is, please stop watching now. So, for a bit of fun, let's explore the clues that pointed to Penelope Featherington being Lady Whistledown. Number 1. The introduction to the Featheringtons. Now, bearing in mind the main character of the show is Daphne and her family, the Bridgertons, which is whom the TV show is named after all, it may seem a little strange that the first family we are introduced to are the Featheringtons, where the first thing we see is one of the poor daughters being squeezed into a corset. Let's just forget for a second that corsets weren't really worn in the Regency period, but never mind. The narrator says, 3 misses foisted onto the wedding marketplace like sorrowful sows through their tasteless, tactless mamma. This may seem to be quite a harsh assessment of Lady Featherington, but it clearly shows the narrator's dislike for her, which mirrors Penelope's difficult relationship with her mamma. Number 2. Marina's secret is revealed. Now, I did not seriously suspect Penelope, but this is the one clue why I actually did consider her for a few seconds before changing my mind back to my suspect, Madame Delacroix. Penelope was one of a small number of people that knew about Marina's condition, though it wasn't exactly a carefully kept secret and was talked about in the household quite openly, and it could be argued that servants could have overheard this gossip and spread it wider. But Penelope is very clearly in love with Colin, and she tries pretty hard to dissuade Marina from luring Colin into a marriage with the intention of covering up her illegitimate pregnancy. Firstly, Penelope tries to talk Marina out of it. When that fails, she shows Marina the letters that were forged by Lady Featherington and her housekeeper, with the intention of making Marina believe that her lover no longer cared for her, that she would marry. When this still does not work on Marina, and Penelope realises Marina and Colin are planning to elope, it's a little suspicious that the following morning Marina's secret is in the Whistledown paper. It feels like it was Penelope's desperate last-ditch attempt to end the proposed marriage. What's even more of a clue is that within the column, she made it very clear that Colin was not the father of Marina's baby, therefore preventing any reputational damage to Colin or the Bridgertons, one of whose members of the family is Eloise, her best friend. Number 3. The Queen's Luncheon. Queen Charlotte is surprised, and a little disappointed, that her luncheon does not appear in Whistledown's papers. This is because Penelope was not there. When the Featheringtons arrive at the luncheon, they are unceremoniously asked to leave to avoid any further unpleasantness. As such, Penelope could not write about the event in Lady Whistledown's column. She is, however, well positioned to witness every other social engagement so far throughout the series, which gives her access to all the society gossip she needs for Lady Whistledown's paper. Number 4. Penelope's lack of care regarding their ruination. When Eloise asks Penelope how everything is after the Marina news is leaked, Penelope answers, "We have not had a caller to the house in 3 days. Mamma says we are ruined." Now, normally a girl would be pretty distressed to know that her family are ruined. It's pretty serious after all. Yet, Penelope only seeks to ask Eloise how Colin is faring. This shows that her love for Colin overrides entirely the concern she has for the ruination of her family, and highlights why she was willing to sacrifice this to save him from a marriage to Marina. Number 5. Penelope's gossipy line to Colin. Now, this is not something I picked up on the first viewing, but something I noticed on my second viewing. There is a scene at Lady Trowbridge's ball in which Penelope seems to slip and reveal her Lady Whistledown character by repeating a piece of gossip that was quite unlike her. She says to Colin, in reference to the hostess, Lady Trowbridge, "Do you not think that the boy bears a passing resemblance to Lady Trowbridge's footman?" referring to Lady Trowbridge's son. Colin looks surprised at this and calls her a barb. This shows how tuned in she is to the gossip of the ton. Other hints. A few other hints that are sprinkled throughout the series are Penelope's complete lack of interest whenever Eloise talks to her of unmasking Lady Whistledown. She even tries to change the subject at times. Penelope is also often shown with her head in a book. Now, one would have to assume that whoever is writing the newsletter is educated to some degree or at least well read, and Penelope's character is definitely shown often reading a book. Just before Lady Whistledown was almost unmasked by the Queen's men in the last episode, Penelope was seen leaving the ball. So she does have the opportunity there. And lastly, the footman driving Lady Whistledown's carriage in the last episode was wearing the same livery colours as the Featherington servant. So that was a little bit of a clue there just before she was unmasked. And that's it. Did you guess who Lady Whistledown was? I must admit I was convinced it was Madame Delacroix. It was quite a surprise to see Penelope unmasked. I hope you enjoyed this video and do subscribe for more Regency and Jane Austen inspired content. And if you love the idea of receiving Regency letters, do check out our shop on Etsy and Amazon. The link is in the description. Goodbye and thanks for watching.